they're not quite doing that. Maybe you're looking and you're like, why are these? What the fuck went wrong with my recipe? Because this shit's looking like it's going half over the pan, like spilling out somewhere else, deflating a bit on one side. That's the story of my breasts at the moment. Not the funnest. And then I have to add a fucking shit ton of like that elastic cream on my stomach because my stomach is, you know, like pumping up like when you pump up a fucking bicycle tire. Like, I suppose that's normal. You want your kid to grow. That's part of a healthy pregnancy. And if you guys don't know yet, I don't think I've announced it on YouTube. I'm having a girl, a little girl. I really thought I was having a boy. Not one of the main reasons being that Basti comes from like a line of men. Like he has two brothers, and on one side, his mother's the only girl. He's got four uncles, and then on his dad's side, he had one aunt, and then the dad, and then three other uncles. So there was a long list of boys, it seemed, in the family. And then all the symptoms I was getting, like, sounded like when my mom had my brother. So I was like, oh, I must be having a son because this sounds exactly like my fucking mom's crazy ass fucking symptoms that she had with my brother. It was also a joyous occasion to always have a salad bowl next to you. Obviously, not to be eating salad. It was because I was like needing to puke every so often. I was like, oh, I'll just keep this salad bowl like right next to me perpetually all day. So just in case I need to throw up, I'll do it into the salad bowl. I did use the salad bowl several times. So that was fun. I'm trying to open this water one handed because I'm holding the phone with the other. God damn it. All right, unladylike moment. Okay. Oof. My legs still work. Is this live stream going out okay? Is everybody hearing everything all right? Whoever's out there, all six of you. If so, let me know in the comments if I'm actually hearing anything, or like I'm just imagining that this is going out and no one's actually watching it, and like no one's typed yet. You're on mute. You're on mute. I hope not. No, I definitely know that's not true because Bossy just commented, even though Bossy's 2 floors down in the basement. Like he can't come up and talk. I know you're down. You're out there, babe. I know you're watching this. So, yeah, the great parts of pregnancy is every so often you feel your like actual insides expanding. Well, not insides, but some parts. Like what happens is the baby is actually pushing all your organs upwards or downwards with your bladder because guess what? You feel like you need to pee all the time because that kid is riding on your bladder. So that's what's happening with my kid, which is like I said, little girl. Do you hope to have a little girl with big flaming eyebrows? I mean, I really hope they're not on fire. Flaming eyebrows. I mean, I suppose I would prefer a child with thicker eyebrows than thinner. You could always wax your eyebrows to be the right size. I have these Hispanic eyebrows, which have been perfectly fucking threaded by some nice Pakistani lady. They get kind of Mediterranean, let's just say. Um, and Basti's eyebrows are okay. Basti's brother, though, like his younger brother, has such light hair that his eyebrows look like light, like you can't see them that well. And so I always am like tempted every time I look at him. I'm like, I feel like dyeing them or like coloring them in. Because I think that you should have kind of eyebrows that look like eyebrows. I mean, that's just me because I'm Hispanic and so I'm used to everybody having dark hair and dark eyebrows. At least when I grew up. Whereas Bossy's family, bunch of like not just white people, like Hitler's dream white people. They're fucking blonde, every motherfucking one of them. Blue eyes, except for Bossy's mom, who actually has green eyes. But the whole lot, bunch of real white people. So, they always say that darker genes usually win out. They're dominant. But I don't. I think that's a bit not the rule as like steadfast rule as people think. So, like my great grandmother had blue eyes, and there's blue eyed people in my family. They exist. So it's not like So unheard of. Um, with my stepdad and my mom, my stepdad totally lost out. Yeah, there it is. That's the pregnancy belly. Yep, 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 yep. There you go. So my stepdad like completely lost out because my stepdad is white man. I mean, he's not blonde anymore. He's like silver haired, but back in the day, he was blondish, blue eyed, and he has three kids. One is with his thank you, Monique, his ex-wife, and then he has my brother and sister with my mother. And all three of those kids, especially my brother. My brother came out like dark, like tanned and like dark hair. He looks like my grandfather when he was younger. My mother's father. My sister is a clone of my mother, like just a younger version of her. It's like really freaky. And then his eldest son looks like him, but dark features, like blackish hair, brown eyes. So my stepdad's genetic material just was not very strong against my mother's genetics. So I am a little bit curious about what this kid's gonna look like between me and Basti, because Basti, if you guys don't know, is pretty white. He's I mean, I wouldn't say I'm the darkest person either. I think the two out of Gige. Have you guys seen this video on YouTube? Not on YouTube. It's on Facebook. It's like floating around, and it's a woman who like gives birth. Her apparently, I guess Facebook now has stillbirth. They'll allow it. Showing you breastfeeding and things like that. So there's a video floating. She's standing up. She's like doing a squat. Do it. And like fair enough, this lady like she didn't make a fucking peep. She's not like screaming her fucking brains out, which I assume be screaming for bloody murder. Um, I probably will take the drugs, as early on as they. Oh, I've been for 3 minutes. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna attempt to connect to my Wi-Fi instead and see if that helps. Oh, to your wife. Okay. One moment, please. Um, Oh, let's see. Here we go. Glitchy as fuck. Glitchy, glitchy, glitchy as fuck. Okay. How about that Tommy Robinson deal? Is this on better now? Sorry about the glitches. Are we better? If anyone can hear it, please let me know. Uh, are we slightly better? Because I know that we had a lot of glitches and we were. Oh my god, I have the worst internet ever out here, so. Okay, it seems to be back on now. I think we are back to not being so laggy. I hope. So that should be better. Unfortunately, my internet connection is the worst piece of garbage in the Western Hemisphere, because they just will not give us goddamn fiber optic on this fucking not street, specifically my fucking flat. There's 3 buildings on this whole street that can't get fiber optic, and we're one of them because they hate us. Because they've connected us to some shitty, random, crap hole, horrible box, which is in back of us, and we have the shittest internet connection. So, guys, is this back on normal? Are we streaming normal now? Let me know. If it's glitchy and horrible, tell me, because I'm gonna have to cut this stream from Hadley Grange, man. So, oh my god. So you also are having this problem, Mike. I don't know what it is about the fucking internet out here. It can be really shit. So I don't even know what the fuck I was talking about before I glitched the fuck out. I think I've been glitching out for a few minutes, so if not, let's start. Let's start a new topic. So someone asked me about Tommy Robinson. What do I think about that whole ordeal? Okay, let's talk about Tommy Robinson for a second. Um, which is annoying. This is not a subject I like to talk about. I will say right off the bat, I don't fucking like Tommy Robinson. I think he's an asshole. I don't like his political stances. Anyone who knows anything about me knows I am an immigrant. I come from a very long immigrant background. No, I didn't spill tea on my equipment. Thank you. I have uh, shitty fucking internet. So, but asterisks. That being said, I am a huge free speech advocate. So, as goddamn shitty as I think Tommy Robinson is, like what he's getting done in for is ridiculous because he live streamed and back. Stop, Basti. We're not gonna get into an argument with each other now. Um, he live streamed outside of a courthouse, and the judge was like, "No, you can't fucking do that because there's no live streaming outside of the courthouse because I fucking said so." And that's essentially what it was he was arrested for. Um, so stop trying to defend Tommy Robinson in the goddamn comments right now. All right, I'm already defending his ability to say what he wants. Uh, but I'm not the biggest fan of him. That's what I'll say. I'm not the biggest fan of about a lot of people, but I particularly I'm not gonna stand and say like, oh yeah, that's who I want fucking representing me for fucking free speech. Uh, but I don't think he should have been arrested. I think that the UK has quite a bit of, babe. If you're gonna argue with me, you might as well come upstairs. B for bossy. It was live stream. He's like, "Are you a fan of Jimmy Page? Why do you keep asking me about Jimmy Page?" No, it's not to say I'm not a fan of Jimmy Page, but I don't go out of my way to become a fan of Jimmy Page. Um, I'm a fan of Anthony Bourdain. Oh, Anthony Bourdain! I was so upset. Um, of course, now there's all the conspiracy theories in the air that somebody really killed him because he was Hillary Clinton, according to my husband. But I think it's very tragic. I fucking loved him. I don't really like do go into celebrity worship at all. Like I don't give half a fuck about like 99.99% of celebrities. Like, but Anthony Bourdain, I just loved him. Not a fan. That ain't nothing but pure old fashioned communism of Jimmy Page. Yeah, no. Is that to say I'm not a fan? It's like I just wouldn't go out of my way to call myself a fan. There's very few things where I consider myself like a large fan where I'm like, oh, I'll go to their concerts, especially now. Like, like it's funny because when you're like pregnant and it's like harder to move around and stuff, it's like a lot of things become like, do I really need to buy that loaf of bread at the grocery store? Maybe I could live without bread. Maybe I can make my own bread. It starts to become a bit like that, and then before you know it, you're just sitting on the fucking sofa all day watching reruns of Anthony Bourdain because now you're trying to like reminisce about how much you liked his show on Netflix, which is what I was doing, and then it makes you sad. Who would you see perform live right now? Oh, good question. I think the last concert I went to, I want to say, Basti, I think you probably know. We went to go watch, God damn, what are they? The Prodigy? Which I don't know if you consider that live music or not. I mean, um, Colonel Angus. I've never heard of Colonel Angus from the deep south. Who's Colonel Angus? Is this like Cunnilingus? Is it like that mushroom band? Yeah, I do like what's it called? Infected mushroom. They are also they're two. I want to say they're two DJs from Israel, and I very much enjoy their music. But if I say they're from Israel, then everybody like supporting Israel. But I mean, like I just like these two guys who happen to be from Israel. Oh man, Shroom Ban was the Allman Brother. Oh, I see. I unfortunately am not the best when it comes to music. Like I can't name bands or instruments or any of that shit off the top of my head at all. Like I said, none of that is really something I can. I would say I'm a particular expert at, even in the slightest bit. I mean, I know apparently the story that there's like all pop music is like written by like the same two or three guys. I think one woman. They write all fucking songs. All songs are written by like them. That's why all music sounds the same. Um, even K-pop songs I think are written by like a couple people. What do you think about Canada Jin turning Muslim? Did she? That girl's whack. I mean, I've had friends convert to Islam. Um, so not I wouldn't call her whack because of that, but I mean I don't know. She's got to go a couple screws loose. So I think that one. Um, but I mean I have had friends. One, I have friends who are Muslim. Uh, so I don't know. I have one of my best friends is Muslim. He's hilarious. He's a bad Muslim though, so that's why we can be friends. Oh, thanks, J Star. Um, I don't know how I feel about that. I mean, whatever floats your boat, I guess. I'm not really too religious at all, which is funny because we have still decided on baptizing our baby. Not like it's quite strange because we're like neither of us are really religious. In fact, we have to kind of get like a non-denominational situation here because the godparents we've chosen are different religions. Um, but we're like, oh, let's do it, because it's a pretty experience, and the family gets together, and blah 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 blah. So we're still baptizing our child, even though I wouldn't consider myself any specific religion at all. And Basti, I don't think does either, though he's in a different area. Have you vomited during your pregnancy? Oh, hi, Tom. I guess you missed my story of the salad bowl. Yes, I vomited during my pregnancy several times. Well, I'm at the second trimester right now, so the vomiting seems to have subdued itself and has merely become acid reflux, which totally sucks, but it's not that bad. But the vomiting has kind of stopped. There are occasional moments of nausea. I really hate going uphill lately. That's become a fucking bitch. My bed is also quite high, so like I have to hop. Like now I have a step. I have to use an actual fucking step to get on top of my bed, or else I'm gonna fall off. But teens love cigarettes, beer, weed, and sex. Do they? Teens nowadays are so fucking boring. Or did I misinterpret what you said? Because I was a boring motherfucking teenager. I mean, I think a lot of people are. Like when I was a kid or a teenager, I have a feeling like my parents were way worse than me. Oh, I'm glowing. Could be the lighting. It probably is the lighting. Oh, thank you. Um, but when I was a teenager, I was the most boring motherfucker out there. Don't they have cable TV where you are? Okay, possibly, but I have like this thing about like refusing to pay, the whole TV license thing. I think to me is like a giant scam. So I'm like, I am not watching motherfucking TV. I refuse. Um, because here in the UK, BBC is taxpayer funded, but they really make you pay it. It's not like just like in the States where it's like PBS where they ask for donations and they give them part of your taxes. Now here you have to pay a TV license fee to fund BBC, and I have a lot of beef with this because I think that BBC, they're not as mainstream as people give them for. Like in the States, we think like BBC is very like is a very trustworthy news network. Unlike our news networks, BBC is certainly not biased in any way towards a particular political party, except they fucking are. Tory bastards. I find the BBC very old school. Though they have cable TV, £150 a year, not a good value. Not if I have to pay it. Not if I'm legally obliged to pay it. What if I don't want to pay it? I don't want BBC. I don't care. I don't like BBC's programming. I find that their politics lean far too to the right. And also, they did not choose me for a mentorship in their writing program, and I'm bitter. All right, so that's part of it. Ah, thank God, delicious water. I probably will have to pee like a bunch of fucking times because that's another fun part about being pregnant. Ha ha ha, what? Tories are the best of a bad bunch. Tories, man. All right, so for you guys not living in the UK, like the two political factions essentially. There's more, but the two big ones are like Labour and Tories. Labour's are like the equivalent of Democrats. Tories are the equivalent of Republicans. But I find Tories like I don't know. They can be like really sadistic. Like even like I don't know. Republicans at least pretend that they're doing it for like some like noble cause. Um, and and like we just believe in smaller government and blah 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 blah. Like they'll at least attempt to give you some spiel. Well they walk around with like a cowboy hat, shotgun because that's their commercials. For certain Republicans, especially the ones in the South, which I at least can appreciate the funny part to it, the acted out. But the Tories here, like they're so blatantly like they're old aristocrats. That's what they are. They're like the old ruling party that are still kind of hanging around, and they like truly, truly, truly hate poor people. If Corbyn came back to power, our country would be bankrupt in a week. Oh please! I don't think that I don't think that one I don't like Corbyn that much either. I am neither Labour nor Tory, nor do I have the ability to vote anyway. But I do not think that the Tories are. They have the same problem Republicans do, which are they are not fiscally conservative. Okay, yeah, they like, oh, we have to cut fucking funding for every goddamn thing. What do they call it? The austerity cuts. So fuck the poor. That you're screwed, especially if you are disabled. Disabled people, fucked. Um, I'd rather have aristocrats rule than the country than a bin man. Well, I didn't say. I don't think Jeremy Corbyn is the bin man. All right, I think he's a fairly educated man. Um, However, I will say that they did the same thing that they do with Republicans. Like they're like, okay, well, we gotta we gotta get out of I guess the country was in the red. Fair enough. You want to cut benefits to make up for the fact that you guys weren't dead. But then they fucking oh my god, the Brexit situation. That one. I think that like I don't like either party because of that because it's like it was a clusterfuck like nobody knows. Um, shouldn't matter that much to me. I'm a permanent resident anyway. But it's still a clusterfuck because it is a clusterfuck for me because I everything I work for is we should abolish all benefits and ban charity. Okay, David, I'm gonna tell you some funny shit about that. See, the irony is that like I'm like I don't think I think the austerity cuts were too deep. I think they fucked over a lot of people, and I'll tell you why. And it's for my own selfish reasons. Like a true gentrifying fucking middle class asshole. My one of the first things I have beef with about all the austerity cuts is the fucking rise in homeless people, who I have to deal with. And and the homeless people are super fucking aggressive where I live. And I'm like, God damn it. They are fucking the worst. And I know that sounds like mean and cold hearted and horrible, but you don't know what it's like. Like, I live in Brighton, which is the most liberal place in all of the UK. We vote in the Green Party. That is our fucking political party for years. For ever since I've lived here, and I think before that, the Green Party rules the city of Brighton. Um, and yay, yeah. So that's who we have in power. With that, we have now screw the homeless, lazy drug addicts. Oh, man, look, I feel bad because some people are just like in shitty situations. However, where I live, there's so many fucking homeless people, and I've literally had money stolen. I've been distracted by one while I was at the ATM, and then somebody took the money while I had to leave, and it was like, so I was like, oh great, this is what I get for giving change. I ignore all of them now. I am cold blooded bitch. I will walk right by everybody fucking coming by. We find needles in the park. We find needles in my goddamn stairwell to my fucking basement. We've gotten broken into twice. So like that's why. So my reason. Oh yeah, and here's my other problem with the austerity cuts. The police just do not show up at all anymore. They just have stopped showing up. To like you, they will not come unless you're being murdered. Um, So that's why I have a problem with a lot of Tory policies. It has nothing to do with. I mean, it does have a lot to do. I think that I don't like the way that they've treated a lot of disabled people. I think that's been my biggest beef with it all. Is that you hear a lot of stories about like disabled people who get like totally fucked because they have to get like tested for how disabled they are if they're fit for work or not. And I think that like some of these are really ridiculous. Um, the threshold for that. I don't believe in like just like giving out fucking free money to anyone who just doesn't fucking want to work, but I don't like the way that it was gone about. I think it was quite cruel in the way it came down like a hammer on a lot of people. Like I said, and then I don't like austerity cuts that much because the police force has just been like they're so run so thin in my city that if you call the police, the last time I had to call the police, which was a couple months ago, like I've had to call the police. Oh man, I've gone through so many situations. Um, this guy was breaking into my neighbor's house. First, he like knocked really hard on my door, and I was like, "What the fuck is going on?" And I was home alone, so I had to like talk to the guy, and he was just like on drugs. And then he like starts knocking on my door really hard again. So I go on my balcony and like I yell at him from like my balcony. I was like, "Hey, stop doing that!" And he was on drugs, so then he decided to go to my neighbor's house. And apparently, he starts fucking trying to kick their door in. Tries to kick their door in. They're home, by the way, and so they call the police. And then I call the police, and it was 1 hour later, and this guy spent an hour trying to kick their fucking door in. A full hour before the goddamn police arrived. So, hence my reasoning for not exactly being like the biggest fan of austerity cuts because the police force just they don't have any fucking money. And and so yeah, there's that. Like I said, and we have just a huge influx of homeless people. And homeless people seem to really like to come to Brighton. I think that we have the largest amount of homeless people per our population in the United Kingdom. Probably because we have like this whole bohemian atmosphere of being all like, oh yes, everybody, you're all welcome in Brighton. Everybody's welcome. Like it's really funny. Whoop, sorry. All right, there you go. It's really funny in Brighton because we like to sell this idea of um, a very artsy and free and hippie like way of life, and everybody's just it's great. But Brightonians, like they're great in a lot of ways, but god damn, if people work in the arts, they're so fucking catty. The most catty motherfuckers you'll ever meet in your life. And everybody's liberal too. Like they're super crazy liberal, like almost to the point where it's like starts to drive me nuts. Like I am a liberal, but not as much as I thought since living in Brighton. I actually had to get into like a fucking. Can't you put your Colombian heritage to use and become a cocaine kingpin there? No, I don't want to fucking step on the toes of the Albanian mob. That's their fucking deal. Not that I would anyway. Not that I'd ever become a drug dealer, but like that was my actual reason. Like from a pure practicality standpoint, I'm like, I hate touching that. But no. Along with that, it's just that whoop, let's go this way. There we go. That's better. So yeah, there's the joyous Albanian mob that lives. I keep this is gonna keep happening in Brighton. Wanting to? Sorry, my throat's a little fucked. No, not for lack of not wanting to, but more for the fact that they just don't have the money to do it to really like I mean I've talked to police and they've told me this. They're like we don't really have the resources to arrest anyone for weed. Um, which is fine, whatever. I don't really care about weed so much. I'm more of an issue with the needles, like the finding of needles like all over the fucking public area, and the meth heads that are like really aggressive, or heroin addicts. They could be both. Crackheads. I don't know. They're the bit of everything. Um, I would say there's also like this issue of a lot of storefronts. Like I don't know if it's about the rent being too high or this is something that happens more here than that I've ever seen like in the states, which is the rent will be too high somewhere or a business will close, and then the store will be empty, and the store will stay empty for years, and nobody comes in and fucking fixes that store. It's obviously owned by somebody, this building, but they just fucking let it sit there empty, and they'll just let it sit there empty for fucking years. And so on the street I live in, or off, like right off the main street I live in, there's quite a few of these stores that just close down and they do nothing with them. And then the homeless people, they set up like, whatever, their sleeping bag and all their shit right in front of these empty shops because no one's going to really yell at them because the shopkeepers aren't there. And the more of these fucking stores that close, the more little fucking homeless tenty things start popping up everywhere in front of these places. And then I can't walk down the street fucking from one side to the other without four different people asking me for goddamn change. And not just asking me for change, then they follow you for change. It's like they literally start following you. And then I have my headset on, thank God, and I'm just pretending not to see them because they're like, it's okay. I'm sorry. I'm fucking walking by myself. It's night. I'm a pregnant lady. I do not want to be followed by some fucking homeless person asking me for money. Ugh. And I once did this like jokingly. Told this was with Warren because Warren lives about a 20, I would say 25-minute walk away, and I said to him, they were all human beings. Oh my God, you have no idea what I'm dealing with in this fucking neighborhood. Ugh. Um, I said if I gave change to every person who asked me for change on my walk to Warren's house, I would be spending close to 30 pounds. And you bring a child into it, yeah, I mean, like, what are I gonna do? There's life. My kid could have a shittier life than the one that I'm giving them. Um, you know? Like, I don't think I'm any less qualified than other people. You're what the fuck, right? Um, I mean, it's kind of shitty. Like, this is just the neighborhood in this area. Yes, I am pregnant, thank you, Thombird. I have been pregnant for 6 months. Blame everyone but yourself. It is the. This homeless should be sent to the Highlands? I don't know, could they build like a little. Like, here's the thing about a lot of the homeless people in my area. One, not every. Okay, I say the homeless, but actually, that's not probably quite correct. These are not people who can't find homes. A lot of them can. Because I know a lot of people who work at the council who would actually work in the housing division for a lot of these people. So, I know a lot of the ins and outs of how it actually works. So, so I know people who would help them are my pro. What's with you always asking about vajazzle? I don't know. Do whatever you want with your vagina. I'm fine to. Oh, thank you, J Star, to leave it the way it is. Um, so I'm sorry, using homeless is the wrong name. Well, because a lot of the people who are actually like begging, like I would say about 1/3 of them, possibly more, are not actually homeless. Like as in they're not sleeping on the street. They just are begging, and that's different. And that's actually more like I think I have a larger problem with that. My other issue is okay. So a lot of they just pitch tents. There's a few people who have not. There's people. I mean, they actually have places to stay with the council, and there are people who pitch the tents. And here's my other problem with the whole pitch tent situation. Because there's a park nearby where I walk Cashew, and they had a big problem with this. In fact, there were several areas around Brighton that did. So like we all talked like because we have like a little community area and stuff, and we all like a community watch group and stuff because I'm an old lady and that's what I do. Join community watch groups. So like we talk and stuff, and there was these people in the tents, and it wasn't like we. I would love to say it wasn't an issue that people have a problem with just people being in tents and in the park. The problem was that the people in the tents would leave their needles in the park. Like right by the tents, and in fact, all over the area, there were needles in the park. And on top of that, to add to that fucking greatness, there was also a lot of human shit. So, needles and human shit. And, like, that's just not acceptable. These are just not acceptable things to just leave fucking anywhere, like in the grass and the park where people walk their dogs, where kids play, and it's like okay, sorry, but then we had to complain to the council, and the council eventually like made the people move, or I don't know what they've done with them, but they're not there anymore. They had to block the area where they kept putting tents up because it got really bad. So, um, that's just it. So that's like my issue is that we have a lot of that problem in Brighton, particularly off where I live. Did they help them? You mean the people in the tents? Okay, here. As far as I know, like here's the deal. A lot of these people get helped. I could tell you that from people I know. Like I was saying earlier, that they get from the council, or just moved to them to another neighborhood. They didn't. Where are they gonna move them to? These people didn't have a place to go. They didn't move them to another neighborhood. They probably the problem is a lot of the places that are council housing, not just council housing, council like specifically like for homeless people. You don't get to just do as many drugs as you want there. I know it sounds kind of cruel but that's really the truth. That's what I've heard from people who work in there. They're like, no, we try to come in all the time. We're trying to help these people, and a lot of them don't want the help. Um, how would you fix homelessness? All right, let's see. I would love them not to always come to my fucking city, specifically in such a large amount. That's the most callous thing to say ever, but it is true because pregnancy has, I mean, not pregnancy, someone says pregnancy, not Brighton has the largest amount of homeless people per capita, and most of the homeless people in Brighton are from London and other cities. That they have all gotten pushed into Brighton, which I find very unfair because we're taking the brunt of trying to help the homeless people with our taxes and everything else. Because a lot of these people are not actually from Brighton. So ideally, I would like if everybody would take care of their homeless people and not dump them on Brighton. That's nice. That would be great. That actually started happening in the Olympics. That's when it really started to go down. You can look it up. I'm not making this up. A lot of London, they basically paid for buses and trains to like fucking ship their homeless people to Brighton. Because Brighton's nice and full of happy hippies and they don't care. So, in terms of dealing with the homeless problem, I mean, the only thing you could do is put money into rehab programs. And funny enough, like me and Esiters, not in the city of Brighton, but the city next to Brighton, which is Worthing. Uh, David, stop being such an edge lord with your I execute hard drug users. Come on, that being ridiculous. What are you fucking 14? Let's be realistic here. Um, in terms of the people, a lot of the people who get helped, like I've worked, like me and Editors actually went to one of these groups who do a lot of help with the homeless people and do a lot of drug rehab, and it wasn't it wasn't AA, but it was like an offshoot and not exactly, and they weren't so religious. And we met up with them and we talked to these people because they were we were doing some videos with them for like their program and to promote their program. But they were realistic with us and they told us the truth. They're like, yeah, you know, 20-25% of the time we can help these people. The other time we just can't. They just it's impossible. So it's not like there aren't programs out there that they really try. But like I said, it certainly doesn't help that we have. I would say okay. Here's my other problem. It's not so much that I have an issue with the existence of the homeless. I mean, I really wish they didn't because I would ideally like all people to be homed. It's that the fact that the homeless people in my area are really aggressive. They're not just like I said, ask for change. Like they are the type who follow you while you're walking by yourself. They're the type who like scream at you from across the street, like, "Hey, girl, hey!" And they start like coming after you, and you're like, "Oh the fuck, get the hell away from me!" Like I said, I've gotten money taken from me from homeless people. Like I've had things stolen. I've had things like I had my house broken into. I've had like the needles in my fucking stairwell. These are all problems that are very specifically likely affecting my life, not just like me just ignoring homeless people. I'm like, oh Jesus, this is a bit of an issue. Um, there's all kinds of like I said, like the human feces issue is not very nice in the park. That's kind of. So no, I would only say that my only thing with the homeless, the only way to help this problem is like yeah, uh, better rehab situations and for other councils not to fucking dump all their homeless people on our council. It's because people are having children and not raising them to be good human beings. And then I'm gonna get knocked up with crackheads and idiots and sorry, I missed that last bit. Um, let's see if it comes back. Oh, okay. Uh, well, I don't know. I'm sure Yeah, poverty begets poverty. That is definitely a true thing. I hate that, and I guess that's also why I'm a little bit more liberal than not liberal, because I do believe in things like I believe children should have the ability to have free education, and um, you know children who are too poor to fucking afford breakfast, I don't mind subsidizing their food. Like, these are things that I personally think that are like good for society as a whole if we help children out. Um, so like, yeah, I mean, it's sad. It's a sad situation, and like I said, like a true evil capitalist fucking middle class Western asshole. I can bitch about the homeless people because they annoy me. And it sounds a bit callous, and I understand that. I understand it sounds callous, and I don't want to make it seem like I don't care. It's just like I also care for my own safety. Do you prefer the UK healthcare system to the US? Absolutely. Oh my god. God, anyone who hasn't, like, Americans, like, don't know what they're missing. The NHS is awesome. All right? It's fucking great. It has its issues, and it probably deserves more funding. See, that's another thing I would love to, like, I am pro NHS. You guys should not let that shit go. Do not fight for it. You do not know what it's like in America. You have no idea how shitty it is to deal with fucking healthcare. All right? You know what it is to go to the doctor and not pay anything? It's amazing. I'd be scared to send my kids to public school, especially with the increasingly absurd curriculum. I had a horrible time at public schools, bad teachers, lots of bad students. It really is dependent on the school you go to. That's a sad truth. I had some great teachers, and I had some shitty teachers. I have some teachers I'm still friends with and still like communicate to. Um, you're an American in Europe. I am an American in the southern United Kingdom in the city of Brighton. Yeah, I hear American no insurance, paying a huge bill for the rest of your life. Yeah, the trick is to go bankrupt. It sounds fucked up, but that's what people have to do, which is fucked up. I like when I broke my foot falling down the goddamn stairs. Um, Kate Spade worth 200 million. Boo hoo, hard life. Yeah, I mean, okay, that whole thing with her and Anthony Bourdain is quite a little bit strange. From West Coast, living in Poland. See, all right. So yeah, I mean, I think that so when I broke my foot and I had to go to the emergency, they scanned me and stuff. Like, I mean, I might have just been there at a good time because it took 2.5 hours for me to, like, from point of walking in to point of leaving with a cast. Um, and I was fine. It was like, here you go. Just check yourself out. They gave me, like, my X-rays. They're like, here you go. This for you. Um, goddamn these rich people killing themselves. Oh, life is hard being. Well, according to Basti, there's a horrible conspiracy. My conspiracy theory loving husband, he says that's why. I felt really bad about Anthony Bourdain. I love him. He was great. He was like one of my inspirations. Like, honest to God, I'm not really big on like um celebrity worship and things like that, but I really liked how he traveled around the world and all that crazy stuff he did. I always could appreciate that kind of like that kind of living. What conspiracy? Oh, okay. Babe, are you still out there? No, he's probably like doing something else. So, apparently, according to Basti and the internet, also known as Alex Jones, uh, not that Basti likes Alex Jones that much either, because he's too mainstream. So, it's that he was killed for saying that he was going to expose Hillary. Basically say, apparently on Twitter he said, he had enough things to get her arrested. So I said I'm not sure about it. Don't confuse knowing what from expecting. Okay, honey bunny. We are all doomed. God, stop being such a fucking pessimist. Alex Jones is controlled for the years. Yes, I know, honey. I know Alex Jones he's controlled by the mainstream media. I believe you. How you feeling there, bud? Oh, I'm feeling alright. It's not too bad. Like, it's just like right now, like that. I feel like I'm from that scene in Willy Wonka and the Chocolate Factory, or is it Charlie and the Chocolate Factory? Not the shitty new one, the old good one. Where Violet Beauregard, where Violet, you're turning violet, you know, and she starts like swelling up like a fucking, well, like a blueberry. Like, that's exactly what I feel like a bit. New great one or old shitty one? Now I was talking about the new one. Depression is much higher among the wealthy and intelligent people. When you're poor, you're thinking about money and survival. Look, I had depression. It's gone done pretty well at the moment. Like for actually through this pregnancy, for some strange reason, whatever hormones, one of the hormones running through me has really like taken the edge off of a lot of depression I have. So I really wish I could figure out what it was and bottle that shit because that one's done me well. But I definitely had a good solid year of really, really bad depression. So I understand. And then, like, my life is not shitty at all. Like, yeah, of course, everybody has shitty parts in their life. I am at the point where I complain about the homeless people begging too much. That just shows you the fucking point of privilege that I fucking have. I'm no fucking fool to it. So I thought relatively I had a very nice life, but it sometimes it happens. Do you ever walk down to the Brighton Pier? The fresh air helps. Uh, yes, I do walk down to Brighton Pier occasionally. However, like the seagulls are really, really, really aggressive. Like, have you been to Wales? I've really wanted to go to Wales actually. I heard it's beautiful, so it's definitely on my like list of places I want to visit. I haven't done too much of the UK. Oh, you live in Brighton too. Good old Brighton, full of all kinds of craziness. I do love living in Brighton, and I'm going to miss it when I leave. But you know, it is what it is. Save the whales. Lol. No, I do want to go to Wales. I think the U.S. gives out drugs far too easily. Yeah, maybe. I mean, I do find sometimes health and safety to be a bit obnoxious in Brighton. Wait, you are leaving Brighton? I'm not leaving right away, but I am planning. There is a long term goal of me eventually moving to Los Angeles for work. Work, 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 work. But we'll see. Because, if you want to work in film, you kind of have to move there. Did you find a new job? God, I wish. I'm in the process of attempting to. But it is to expand like my career essentially. If you want to do more larger projects, which I do, you know, you have to kind of go to LA. You might be able to do it in London, but I absolutely hate London and I'm not fucking moving there. I'd rather move to LA. So that's the eventual plan. Are you? Why do you keep asking me about the pro vajazzle? The correct answer is yes. I guess is that's where people stick those little glittery fucking rhinestones all over your fucking freshly waxed vagina. Yes, I suppose. Yeah, the smog would kill your baby. Look, there's plenty of fucking smog here too. um, please. And right now the hay fever is killing me. So God, it's the worst. Good old Los Angeles smog. Yeah, it's true. I wouldn't say that it's the greatest thing ever. You see it when you land on the airplane. You like can see the like that hovering amount of smog over L.A. I know it's a real thing. Just say no to Monster Woodstock Bush. Okay, I agree. I think did I ever mention? I think I made a video a long time ago where I said I did laser hair removal anyway, so it's not something I truly worry about too much. So yeah. Oh, I'm going to Wales tomorrow. Enjoy. I you know I hear LA traffic jams are to be feared. Like I'm from Miami, all right. Like we beat LA and New York almost every year for rudest drivers in America. So, I'm all right with that. Don't worry about me and my fucking ability to handle traffic. All you need is some good fucking audiobooks. And don't pay attention to anyone around you. Because that's where things go fucking wrong. Because I living in Miami, like I would, God, there's some fucking funny Facebook groups where like I've seen people like stuck in traffic get out of their cars and get into a fist fight in the fucking street in the fucking bumper to bumper traffic. Good old Miami, man. Good fucking times. Yeah, I mean LA traffic is not fucking amazing, but like I said, I'm from fucking Miami, and then I lived in Tokyo, which was like an insane city to live in too, fucking full of like if I remember I used to make this joke and it was really true. When I would go to work every day, I'd have to take what was the name of the subway line? It was the red one. It was all right. I see. I can't remember it off the top of my head, but there's that red subway line in on the in Japan. Began with a K, Kunichi, something like that. My point is, I had to take this fucking subway line. And when I got into this, like, this was one of those where they have to push you into the fucking subway cars because it's so ridiculously slammed. There's no way in hell you're getting in there. When you think there's no physical fucking way possible that you're going to make it into this subway, they shove fucking 30 more people inside that car. What's it like learning to drive in England? Oh, I haven't done that yet. Cause yeah, so that never happened. I live in Brighton. I don't need a car. I mean, I'm capable of driving on the left because I did it in Japan, but I never did. I never did get my British driver's license because I was fucking lazy. That's what happened. Um, I mean, I might still do it. Maybe I'll do it right before I leave. Japanese chicks in school uniforms is sexy. Listen here, they're school uniforms, which means they're fucking children. You pervert. So, you get squished onto the train. Then I was squished so fucking hard once, I remember, that there was a mosquito flying above. What does your husband think about moving to LA? He's like, meh about it. He's like, okay, whatever. He's not loving it, but he's not hating it. It's one of these situations. Um, so yeah, on the freaking train, on the subway train, like fucking mosquitoes like around me. I can't move. I physically cannot move my arms, and thus I'm blowing it so it doesn't bite me. I'm like doing that shit on a fucking mosquito. Cause that's how, and then every time, like, they finally got to the stop, you were literally felt like you were being born. Because of how tightly you were, like, pushed out, like, oh my god. Had to do that every fucking day to work, go to work. How did you get off the train like that? Oh, the people get off the train. So what happens is when the train's open, the doors open, suddenly all the people come out. Because they'll let you get out of the train. Like, people are nice in Japan and they know what like, politeness is a big thing. So people will automatically step out of the train to give you space to leave, and then they'll all get back on. So that's how you get off the train. And yeah. So my point is, LA traffic and is fine. I'm not scared of it because I'm from a large metropolitan city anyway. So it's okay. It's fine. That's life. I mean, I am gonna miss the fact that I don't have to have a car. That's great. Japanese train bus porn is real, man. Like, no, it's not real. Those things are like rented trains where they do those fucking skits where the people are just like having sex on the fucking train, right? I've seen those. They're not real. Oh man, Japan and their porn. Did you ever meet Tokyo Sam? He's a legend. Yes, I have met Tokyo Sam actually. There's a video of us together on my YouTube channel. We had burgers together on Thanksgiving a couple years ago. Yeah, Tokyo Sam's awesome. I like him. He's a really cool guy. It does not happen. You do not just shoot porn on a fucking public transport. They fucking rent those out. I tune in for a discussion of Japanese porn. I've definitely seen my share of fucking Japanese porn. And never usually for like sexual gratification. It is like literally just like for like like a Ripley's Believe It or Not kind of situation where you're like, oh wow, yeah, I know they rented the trains exactly. Um, so you watch like these fucking that's what I watch Japanese porn for, like to figure out whether like it's like is this like just to see if it's gonna get as crazy as you think it is. Let me see if I can set up my stand so I can put my phone down for like 3 seconds. Now you get to see my big ass titties. That's nice. Let's see. Come on. All right, that's good enough. Sorry. It's not my best angle, but whatever. Fuck it, I'm pregnant. I don't give a shit. They're trying to please the men so they understand. God damn it, that's like such a load of shit. It's like I've never heard. You want to have a fucking like you've never seen Psycho Girlfriends, like a Japanese Psycho Girlfriend. Oh, so many Western men have been so fucked up. Don't know why it's pixelated porn. Oh yeah, they it's an old law. It's an old Japanese law that says they can't show fucking like the real junk. That's why it's pixelated. Um, so that was a thing. Have you seen the IRL streamer community in LA? I haven't seen too many actually, no. But I am gonna meet. I'm actually going to LA to. There's two YouTubers I'm meeting while I'm out there. One of them is Jenny Lorenzo, and she is actually from Miami, like I am. We actually did Drowning in Sunshine together. That's how I met her. I met her through like a friend. It was like a friend of a friend situation. She's cool. We're gonna do a video together. And then I'm going to meet Maddox, who I know is somewhat of a controversial figure for some people. But I like him, and he was like I've talked to him a couple times on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I'm coming to LA. Love to say hi. I like his podcast, so I I will meet him too. So let's see. Um, but I've met quite. I mean, I think I've met out of most of the YouTubers I've met a few in the UK and a few in England. I mean the UK and England. I mean in the few in Japan. God, so my words are not making any fucking sense anymore. So yeah, no, I know quite. I would say I've become friends with quite a few YouTubers, like Dick Coughlin, whose fucking poor channel was always getting goddamn fucking destroyed. I'm friends with him. He was at my he was a bit of a lifesaver a couple weeks ago because I was out of town. I was doing Cannes Film Festival. Eugenia Cooney. She's in LA. I don't know her that well. It's not someone I know. Maybe I know someone who knows her. Show feet? Fuck off. Show feet. Show his finger. How about that? Show feet. What is this, a fucking fetish channel? First off, you're on the wrong one, alright? This is not the one to do. I'm Dom, not fucking sub anyway, so I don't do what you ask me. You do what I ask you. No, don't do anything. um anyway. Uh, no, I mean I know. Let's see, Simon of the Three Old Dudes. He came to my wedding actually. He drove from Belgium. What are your my orders? No, I don't want. No, I'm not gonna get into that. Please. I get Facebook messages all the fucking time, like from fucking random weirdos saying, "Oh yes, mistress, tell me what you want me to do." Like, no, I want you not to fucking message me, random fucking stranger. Um, I never. Oops, I'll turn this way. Let's see. Better, better angle. So yeah, no, it's because if you tell anybody you like kind of anything like BDSM or anything fetishy, people get a like they get the very like a fucking wrong impression from you, which is like you just want to talk about like freaky sex shit all the time. I don't actually. I don't like talking about that shit with most strangers. I just say I have an open sex positive attitude, and that's not like a fucking like invitation for all your goddamn crazy fucking fantasy talk. What the fuck am I here for? No, 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 no. So I get a lot of those messages sometimes, which get a little bit weird. I mean, admittedly, like, I mean, I don't know. There are some fucking freaky people with pregnancy fetishes, but no, recently not as much because I think I've stayed away from a lot of the scene because I'm like I don't want to deal with it. I'm too fucking. I'm in that waddly stage and I just don't feel sexy at all. It's kind of shitty. BDSM is fine, but I sort of see it as a bit cheesy. Depends, man. I would say yeah, like there's some like stuff that is kind of basic, but the shit I've seen. Like I've seen some very heavy stuff. I haven't participated in some heavy stuff. I mean, I've only been like witness to it because I've gone to a lot of the parties, and it's like it could be a bit heavy. Is all I could say. But it was too much for me. There was a point where I was like, all right, I've reached my threshold. I can't do it. It's too weird. Waddly Jedi, yes. Oh my god, I am getting this weird fucking penguin walk. The thing is, have you been to Torture Garden? Oh my god, the Torture Garden situation. I have bought tickets to Torture Garden on 3 different fucking occasions. At which point, I have not made it to any of them because some fucking weird, crazy shit has happened. So no, I've never made it to Torture Garden. Torture Gardens is a bit of a mainstream one, though. I've gone to things a bit more, how could I say, less mainstream than that. Torture Garden is still like more of a party. The after parties to these events are where fucking it gets like insane. But I shouldn't say more than that because it's a don't ask, don't tell situation. So, so unless you guys are gonna start asking me different questions about BDSM, which I don't suggest you do, there's other people who are much better at answering it than I am. And God knows that'll get this fucking video demonetized in like 3 fucking seconds. Because how dare you talk about that? God, man, YouTube has gotten really like insane with like their crackdown and stuff. You can't talk about anything. They want you to be so fucking obnoxiously PG. It's really annoying. Sorry, I'm doing this to my nose, and I'm not picking it. It's just really itchy because of the goddamn fucking hay fever. Even if I was picking it, I don't fucking care. Isn't there a BDS event in Brighton? Yes, there is. It's called Filth, and my friend runs it actually. My fetishes are pretty unique. You probably wouldn't have heard of them. Everybody has something different. I'm like, I'm not judgmental about what people do with their own fucking in their personal lives, as long as it's not like hurting anybody. Seems Instagram is gonna allow your long videos to compete with YouTube. They should. I heard Amazon's apparently getting on the train too. Apparently Amazon is trying to make their Amazon Tube that's supposed to be coming out in a little while. Um, which I think they should. I think YouTube needs fucking competition. It is a bit ridiculous. Facebook is about the closest you can get, but Facebook is a completely different beast in terms of the things you're making. Twitch, I suppose. I don't go on Twitch though, not because I don't want to, but like I said, like you might have noticed, I have so many issues trying to freaking live stream because my internet is so shitty and laggy that I can't freaking really do Twitch. I would love to. Not that I'm playing any games at the moment anyway. I suppose I should. Any games anyone is recommending lately? I haven't played anything in like literal years. I haven't even like God, when was the last time I even hooked up a console? I used to play a lot of Wii with Basti back in the day. But now it's like now I'm like stereotypically momish in some ways. I'm like, oh, we gotta get some stuff for the baby. And I'm planning things out. I'm going home for my baby shower. Yay! All right, let's see. Let's pick a different topic. Any topics anybody like wants to come up with off the top of their head? They can leave them in the comments. If not, I'll just have to think of something, and then I'll just stare into space for the next fucking 5 minutes thinking about something. You don't want me to just look off dazed. I make a strange looking face. Occasionally, my tongue flops out and drool starts coming off the side of my mouth. You know, I mean, it makes a great fucking screenshot, I'm sure, but in general, let's not do that. So let's see. How's the beach in the south of England? Oh, we saw a seal at the beach. But the stones are terrible. Like, it's full of little pebbles. It's a little pebble beach. And they're very uncomfortable to walk on. And they're cold. But also, surprisingly, it's kind of convenient not to get sand all over your ass. So, it's it's kind of cold. That's what I will say about Brighton Beach. But, it is a beach and you still can use it. It's just big sand. Ha ha ha. It's not big sand. It's fucking very uncomfortable to go on that beach. So Brighton Beach is like I said, Stone Beach. It's all right. I mean it's very picturesque. Like you can take some very nice photos there. Cuz the stones look quite pretty. The water's not particularly like it's not as cold as you think it is. And it was really funny to see a seal there because I didn't know that there was seal ever in Brighton Beach. I've never seen them before, but there was a big motherfucker a couple days ago hanging out with a big eel in its mouth, just like by itself, just chill out in the fucking in the ocean, like right off the beach. It was quite cool to see. And everybody kept making that joke, Lucille, Lucille. If you watch fucking Arrested Development. Have you been to the Isle of Wight? No, I have not. I've been meaning to go to the Isle of Wight. It's not that far from here. Um, Thank you, Swishblade. Ugh. I am looking forward. I mean, I'm not looking forward to the actual birth part because that sounds horrible and kind of traumatic. And everything I've ever seen about it looks like, oh shit. Oh shit. Isn't it tough moving to so many different places around the world? I find it hard to make good friends again. It can take some time. Yeah, that's kind of annoying. That is true. It's it is a thing, but like we're like I said, the place I'm trying to move next is Los Angeles, and I do actually have some friends already in Los Angeles, so that kind of helps. Um, it's just the things that we do, you know. Sometimes we do have to kind of like uproot ourselves and try new things. And as much as I enjoy my friends here, they can come and visit me in Los Angeles. Um, I'm gonna miss a lot of specific people. I have some really good friends here that I really enjoy, but sometimes we have to take risks and challenges to better ourselves and follow our dreams and all that shit. So, do you think your child will have an American, German, British accent combo? I really doubt that. So, I think they're gonna have an American accent because we're probably gonna move back to America, and I think that I hope that they have fluent German because I think it's useful that they speak the language of their fucking father. So Bastian is getting on that only speaking German to the baby thing. Like we've tried to make that a thing that's gonna exist in our lives. We're like, okay, please only speak German to the baby so they could catch the language and absorb it fully. Like I speak Spanish, but my Spanish is a little bit rusty. However, every time me and Basti end up going to a Spanish speaking country, we can it comes back to me pretty quickly. You gonna do that thing where you only hang out and talk to other people with kids too now? God, I hope not. I hope that's not the case. I mean, I don't mind um that because I guess you make friends with your kids' friends' parents or something. You do play dates and shit like that. I guess that's a thing. Um, say something in German. What do I say? I used to know how to say you are gay. I forgot. I could say "Wo ist die Toiletten?" Where is the toilet? Because that's the most common phrase I use when I'm in Germany. Bitte, bitte. That's it. Please. God, what was that? You are gay. I forgot. I know you are a donkey. Du bist ein Esel. I don't know why. I have a tendency of calling people donkeys. Like that's like my go-to insult. Donkey. Like you're such a donkey. Not jackass. Specifically donkey. Why? I don't know. Why donkey? No one knows. I think I've been going for about an hour and a half. I think I'll give it another 10 minutes and then I'll cut it off. So, if anyone else wants to add anything now, now's the chance. Now you have the chance. Why donkey? I don't know why donkey. I find donkeys both obnoxious and ugly and cute at the same time. Like it's like one of these animals that like consists of all three attributes. Like apparently they're very stubborn. They kind of smell, but I find them kind of cute. Like in a weird way. Like they have like long rabbit ears and kind of stupid faces, and they make that noise, that obnoxious donkey noise, but it's also kind of funny. Yeah, yeah. Like donkeys are funny. That's why. How are your animals? I only have one. If by animals you mean like dog, I have a dog. Cashew's fine. She's under the bed. She keeps farting, but I think she finally stopped. But it's my own fault. I fed her honey roasted peanuts, and apparently they're giving her horrible gas. My fault. I shouldn't have fucking fed the dog honey roasted peanuts. To be fair, I think I need to put Cashew on a diet. She's getting a little fat. Like she gains weight when I gain weight, and she's gained quite a bit of weight. So because I'm pregnant, which is a bit of a problem here. Can you take your dog to America quite easily? Yeah, I've looked into it. It's only annoying that I can't really keep her with me on the flight. She has to go in like the cargo, and I'm a little bit nervous about that. Obama eats dogs. Read his book. You sound like Basti. No, thank you. Baby's all right. She's cooking where she should be. Growing, expanding. Pregnancy isn't very comfortable. I'll say that it's not the most comfortable situation you could be in. I don't know if I'll do it again. I might be one and done. I kind of feel like that might be the situation. But see, like my mom's already like, they need brother and sister to play with. Like, my mom did such a bad job of arguing this to me because I was an only child for 10 years, which I really enjoyed being an only child. And like then I got a brother and sister of whom I like never fucking really played with. I actually did watch Alien soon, and like Alien doesn't freak me out about being pregnant because it's a completely different experience. Because believe it or not, in terms of all this crazy bullshit, it actually is kind of magical in that kind of crappy way that people say it is. It kind of is. So like I'm not like it feels kind of nice. They move inside you. And you're like, oh, they're here. So it's still sweet. Um, but yeah, no, I didn't really want I didn't want like a brother and sister when I was a kid, and then when I got them, I was really annoyed because I always had to babysit. Like I was perpetually always babysitting my brother and sister, which pissed me off. Because that's what happens when you have a 10-year gap between you and them. And then my mom then tried to say like, well, you and Emily, which is my cousin, you guys used to always play together, so it's still nice. And I'm like, man, me and this cousin have not been on speaking terms for close to 3 fucking years. So no, I really don't think I want to have another child. I mean, we'll see after this one. I don't want to say no, like absolutely not. But I don't want to like seem like I might. Like I don't. Like some people like already are like, oh yes, I can't wait to have another one. I'm like, oof. Like some women say how much they love being pregnant, and I want to like punch them in the mouth because I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you, you lying whore? And I don't know how women have like 10 fucking kids sometimes. Like some people who have like ridiculous amounts of children. I'm like, what? You want to keep doing this? You will purposely go out of your way to do this more than once, more than twice. What the hell is wrong with you? Yes, Basti will teach the baby German. Oh God! But Octomom had those kids all at once. Who was your favorite Duran Duran guy? I don't even know where were the members' names. I know their songs like "Hungry Like a Wolf." Na 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 na. And I'm hungry like a wolf. What was that other one? Rio. Her name is Rio, and she dances on the sand, just like that river twisting through the dusty land. Oh man. Ah, Duran Duran. Good 80s garbage. Oh, she wanted more though? I don't know. She did want more, but she was fucked in the head. That lady had problems. Had did she do porn? She did some porn afterwards, didn't she? The guy who put all those fucking embryos in her got disbarred, or like he lost his medical license. Disbarring is for fucking law, not medicine. Anyway, lost his fucking medical license because of that fucking catastrophe. That bitch was crazy though. So, oh man, guys. All right, I'm gonna wrap it up here. So, I hope you guys have enjoyed my impromptu live stream where I made a horribly cruel rant about homeless people, which I which is not what it seems like. I just don't like them being so aggressive. But anyway, guys, enjoy yourselves. Enjoy your evening. I'm gonna call it a night. All right. Thank you. I'm glad you liked the stream. I'll try to do another one because streams might be a little bit easier for me if I could get this goddamn internet to fucking not be a jerk. All right, guys. See you. Let's go.